Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Kiss up to God. To God be the glory for all the wonderful works that He does. Thank you, God, for another do over, for those brand new grace and brand new mercies that you've given us. Thank you for family and friends, life, health, and strength. And God, if we have the opportunity to say I'm sorry, allow the opportunity because I'm sorry can restore and it can recover a whole lot of things. Happy Saturday. I pray all is well with everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jennifer Brooks. I am your Southern Belle. And I'm on because I was a runner. I'm not talking about track. I was a runner. But my title is You Can't Outrun Yourself. You can't outrun yourself, so slow down. I was a runner. I ran from all kinds of things that I was dealing with, that I had to deal with. And I think some of us are still runners. And some of us are tired. I know I'm tired. I got tired. I had to stop. I had to slow down. I had to really face some things. And a lot of times we run because we're actually afraid of dealing with problems head on. We don't want to deal with problems in our life. So we run from those problems. A lot of times we're afraid to come to confront the problems. We don't want to face them head on, nor do we want to confront what the real problem is. So we run. Well, maybe I'll just talk about myself, but who knows? Maybe some people can attest to what I'm talking about. Also, we are afraid of losing something. We run because we're afraid of losing something. We're also afraid of facing what we have lost. And that could be in anything, any circumstances, from family to relationships to jobs, anything that we've lost, we're running, because we're trying to escape or forget reality. And if you keep doing that, you're gonna run yourself to death. Having problems when you run, you know, you get stuck and you're gonna always run into something else, or it's gonna find you. Either way, all that running sometimes from that, because it's some of the problems that you run from gonna find you. Sometimes they're gonna find you in a worse state. Your problems will continue to follow you until you finally face them. Because a lot of times when we're running, we're running into the arms of somebody else, which now we have a bigger problems. We're running to drugs. We're running to alcohol. We're running into all kind of things that really gonna get us stuck. It's like hitting a brick wall. Until we face some things that are going on, until we face reality, until we face our problems, we're going to continuously run, and you're going to eventually get tired, and you're going to eventually either give up, or you're going to, like I say, run into more problems or hit that brick wall, And I was thinking about that because I talked to my mom this morning, but I was still like relaxing and chilling today because I can, and it feels good. But this peace came with a price. Relaxing came with a price. It came with the running into the brick wall, until like hurts and destruction and alcoholism and drug. It all came with a price because we don't want to face reality. So I was reading an article. Who knows? Because sometimes the days run into each other. Because sometimes I have so much content, so many things that I read into, that I look at, or that I watch. And I jot down things and put things in my phone. But this person was talking about fight or flight. And I think that's almost like a sense of running. Because if we're not comfortable with something, we're going to either fight or we're going to flee. We're going to fight for, or we're going to run from it. So that's when I was like, you can't outrun yourself. Stand there and fight, or flight. So that's what they were talking about, fight or flight. And then they gave four things that she said that's good if you find yourself there, which is good because I did some of these things without reading the article, but these are some of the things that the article said. It said, number one, give yourself a time limit. if you feel like that you're dealing with something, give yourself a time limit to deal with it, and don't run from it. But time yourself. Give yourself a time limit. Number two, don't use that time to push the hard realities away. Accept that they will need to be worked through. If you do have the time, don't push it away. Work through it. Number three, think about what steps you are going to take to work on yourself and work on the situation that caused you to run. And I speak about that constantly. Self-awareness, self-love, self-discipline. Find things or steps to work on yourself, because sometimes the problem that you're dealing with might be self. And number four, focus on being in the present moment. Your fears that have caused you to run are because you are putting a great deal of energy into focusing on the past and the unknown future. One easy way to do that is to breathe and live in the present moment. And that is really to me that's powerful, because we're so focused on our past traumas, our past relationships, our past failures, our past hurts. And then we're worrying about the future. Am I going to be traumatized again? Am I going to be hurt again? Should I take a chance? What should I do? You're focusing on something that hasn't even happened yet. And all of that causes a lot of stress. It causes stress. It causes sadness. It causes you to fight or flight. And the past really causes you to do that, because the past can really play a number on you. It can really destroy something that you might be able to have better in the future, because you're so worried about, what happened back then. And we put ourselves into like a flight mode. We put ourselves in such a, like a bubble or such fear that we destroy things that could be. We put ourselves like, I can't even think of how to even put this, but we do it to ourselves sometimes. That's why that self-love, discipline, self-development, everything that you do for yourself or within yourself is going to help so much, because you got to figure out who you are, what your purpose is, and why you're here, instead of running from everything. You can't run from life. Life is going to happen. It's going to find a way. You can't run from the past, because it already happened. How you running from that? You can't run into a future, because that hasn't happened yet. You don't even know, like where your future lies or what's going to happen in the future, because it hasn't happened yet. So you're just running in circles. You're tired. I know I was tired. You get tired of running. You get tired of dealing with the same thing over and over again. And a lot of times we do, because we don't give ourselves that time limit, and we don't stop long enough to take a breath. We don't stop off to the races. 1, 2, 3. We're out. We're gone. Because sometimes you don't know. Like they say, you're dropping the baton. That just came into my spirit. You're dropping the baton because you're leaving before you can even grab it. You have to slow down and try to enjoy your life, and try to find out why you're running and what you're running from. And sometimes the things that you're running from isn't that bad. We make things up in our own mind and our own imagination. We make some things worse than what they really are. We deal with some things in a harsh way, and we don't have to. Instead of doing the things that we should, we're breaking other people. We're hurting ourselves. We're hurting family. And for what? If you stop a little bit, put on the brakes, and figure out why you're running, you might be able to resolve a lot of issues, a lot of conflicts, a lot of problems that you have made bigger and worse, because now you're running from it. It's like flames. It's almost like the fire. If you catch on fire, the first thing they tell you is stop, drop, and roll to put it out. Because when you run, only thing you're doing is making it bigger and bigger. You're burning yourself up. That's all you're doing, because you're gaining, it's getting more air. You're gaining all that momentum, and now it's bigger. So you're going to have to stop and figure out self. And then you'll be surprised that you don't even have to run all that buzz. You can slow down, pace yourself, sit down and watch somebody else run, or either talk to them and tell them, hold up, wait a minute. I see you're running from. I can see that you're trying to run to. You know, you can't run from yourself. You can't run from your problems. You're going to have to eventually face them. And sometimes once you face them, you're going to realize it wasn't that bad after all. Some of the problems that I face is like, shoot, if I was just knew that or faced that a long time ago, I wasted so much time not facing problems. And that's what we do. We're wasting time running instead of, just facing it. Some of the problems we made for our own selves. Some of the things we did to ourselves. So self-awareness, stop running, slow down, and breathe. Woosah. You'll be fine. If you think anybody needs to hear this, please share it. I would really appreciate it. My name is Jennifer Brooks. I am your Southern Belle, and I'm on the right road now. And I'm walking the road, and I'm running. All right, you guys, you have a blessed day now. You hear? God bless.